A very good evening, viewer. You're most welcome to the NILE Cast on your West Nile Television, where we give the daily news bulletins of the day, every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name's Ukumaringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines today. In the headlines tonight, South Sudanese nationals engage in cultural gala with the call for peace. Tergo District celebrates the 38th NRM Liberation Day anniversary. And low turn-up of learners for registration for 2024 academic year in Moyo District. This and more in the NILE Cast News Bulletin. It's the 27th of January 2024 and you're most welcome to the NILE Cast on your West Nile Television. Now let's dive into some of the stories of the evening. The South Sudanese community living in the West Nile sub-region today on the 27th of January 2024 came together to participate and compete at the South Sudanese Cultural Gala. The event attracted several participants drawn from among the 64 tribes of the world's youngest nation, showcasing their talents in singing, dancing, plus many other skills. Let's have more on that story.
All right, thank you, Okumiringa Christine at the Political Command Center, and a very good evening to you, the viewer of the NILE Cast News Bulletin. My name is Farish Majid, and I'm coming to you from Arua Primary School playgrounds, where the South Sudanese Cultural Gala is taking place. And I must tell you, for a country that has about 64 tribes, and most of them are actually participating in this cultural gala, and I will be speaking to one of the organizers to tell us more about this cultural gala. And really, culture is one thing that can actually bridge in, that is the gap between different tribes, and we have seen all this exhibiting and working together for those living in West Nile. And really, if I'm to speak to City, the organizer of this event, maybe to tell us more about this event and really, and maybe how it can help the other nations, maybe in terms of also building that the peace way back home. You're most welcome.
Yeah, my name's as of heart. I'm called City Esther. I'm a South Sudanese, a refugee. I live in Rua, and I received my food in Luruja, this camp called Luruja under Rhino camp. Okay, about the function that right now we are in the cultural gala. This cultural gala, we created it so that it can bring all of us together, the 64 tribes. We wanted to remember our traditional food, our traditional dances. That's why you have seen at the Arua Primary Ground, there's so many people participating in dancing, cooking, a lot of things that are taking place. But at the end of the day, the event is to bring all of us together and even to attend the Western Islands.
This is an indication of peace between the different tribes living here in West Nile. What can the government, maybe way back at South Sudan, learn from this?
They should learn that for us, we have forgotten all that has passed, and we need peace. And they wanted to go back to South Sudan, where the country is okay. Wanted to go and dig in our own soil. Thank you.
All right, that is City, the organizer of this event. But this is an event that is only attended by the South Sudanese themselves alone. We have also seen so many Ugandans coming to attend this event. And we have Congolese, we have the Aringa Kingdom in presence. We have the Nubian community also in attendance, and definitely I will be speaking to them also to tell us more about this event here. And I'm joined by, that is Lemeriga Fadil. He is the premier for Kingdom, and briefly, if I can be able to also speak to him and tell us more about this event here, because really we are seeing that so many people are living as refugees. That is in Yumbe, and Yumbe is the kingdom of Aringa. I must say this proudly, because if you talk about Aringa, then you cannot exclude Yumbe. So I think this is a place that is also hosting so many people, and maybe what the South Sudanese government learned from this experience of the peaceful coexistence, because this is an indication that the people are actually living together.
What South Sudanese government can learn is that people can coexist and people can stay anywhere so long as they are at peace and the opportunities. And as we talk right now, many South Sudanese are benefiting from Uganda. They are getting education. That is actually the biggest contribution Uganda is making to the people of South Sudan. Educating South Sudanese. These people are educating. When they go back, they change the societies back home. They also become mentors and teachers to the people of South Sudan who not get the opportunity to acquire this education. They have been able to learn agriculture that has been taught by the NGOs and even by our local agricultural institutions here. They've been able to learn our culture of peacefulness, that people can be able to exist. You'll see there is no much problem among the tribes of the people of Uganda currently.
Coming to that, you see in most of these camps at times we also see challenges of intertribal fights between themselves here. And maybe what message do you have for them? If you have to really look at the camps, sometimes we have these cases where they fight among themselves. What message do you have for them? Because this is an indication of peace, and definitely this is something we must preach and something that we want to see.
The message is that let them, starting from today, let them start staying peacefully. You find a situation where no Dinka can stay in a camp where there is a Nuer. And these are people who belong to the same government, to the same country. The vice president of South Sudan is a Nuer, while the president is a Dinka. If the two can be able to work together, why can't the ordinary people work together and emulate those people? As that's not enough, there is a peace process that the South Sudanese government is supposed to implement, and it requires that they must be able to bring their acts together. As that's not enough, South Sudan is going for elections. You cannot always even be voting, because there will be limited number of people who will be contesting, especially at the presidential level. So it might be either Salva Kiir or Riek Machar or any other person who will contest for a position, and that person should be elected on merit, not on a tribal basis, because these communities need the services of each other.
Thank you so much, Lemeriga Fadil. And that is Lemeriga Fadil. He is the premier for that is Aringa Kingdom, and I must say he's not alone. We also do have the Nubian community representing here, and I also be talking to the Prime Minister of that is the Nubic cultural institution living here in West Nile to also tell us more, because I do understand that we have a similarity between that is the Nubian community of here and the South Sudanese, and really if he can be able to tell us more about this cultural event and maybe how it relates to the people of this nation, really. Yes, your name, and really how can such engagements really help in foster unity among the different tribes?
First of all, my name is Abdul Juma Labidi. I'm the Nubi Prime Minister of Mulkita Nubi.
Yes, the question is, I'm asking is, how can such cultural festivals really promote unity among the different tribes?
This cultural gala is very important to in that it can unite different cultural groups. I would say, for example, Nubi community. The Nubi originated from all these tribes you are seeing come from South Sudan. We find the Nubi who originated from Bari, from Dinka. My grandfather originated from Zande. So when we come here from different ethnic communities in Uganda here, we united and become one group. You find in South Sudan tribes fight, but here in Uganda you find the Dinka staying with the Bari, we come together. It is through the culture that we united all of us together.
All right, that is it with the South Sudanese Cultural Gala, where so many participants have really showed in attendance, and they have been actually showcasing their talents in different cultural activities. And I want to take this opportunity now to hand it over back to you, Okumuriga Christine, at the Political Command Center. Thank you.
And more in our stories this evening. The political, technical and residents of Terego district have on Friday the 26th of January 2024 joined the rest of Ugandans in celebrating the 38th anniversary of the National Resistance Movement Party Liberation Day. Dignitaries at the event recounted achievements of the National Resistance Movement Party ever since it took power by gun on the 26th of January 1986. Osuta Yusuf has more.
The political, technical and residents in Terego district have on Friday 26th of January 2024 joined the rest of the Ugandans in celebrating the 38th anniversary of National Resistance Movement NRM Party. Dignitaries at the event recounted achievements of the National Resistance Movement ever since it took over power by gun on 26th of January 1986. A historical in NRM party, Mr. Andama Richard J. Ferwa, while quoting the biblical Nicodemus, who went to meet Jesus at night, urged opposition people like the Terego LC5 Honorable Saka Wilfred, who is an Alliance for National Transformation, ANT party member, to join the NRM party.
Germany, Piasiku, Gary Kambo, NRM Germany, Burudi, Anguli. Ni amubali piru ni Nikodemu amandri ni siesuru. Miram ya mazi ni afya marugo amademi ya muafazi ndaizere odia bagabana nzinga ni yesiku.
The Teregu District LC5 chairman, Honorable Saka Wilfred, who has been reported several times to security operatives as an opposition who is frustrating government programs, has defended himself as a politician who is weeding out the rot in government.
A good number of people have taken cover in NRM. They are swindling public resources. And the moment you start raising this, they run to Kampala and say, "What? You see what? He is stopping government." It is not stopping. We are fighting corruption. Syndicate. You go to the district headquarters there, first building, put up by a politician, high-ranking politician from central government, camouflaging to be innocent. But the local people know he was the one who paid rent, keeping materials. So you go to the floor of the house, completely cracked, broken, within 2 months after handing over the building. You are not supposed to talk about it. When you talk about this, they run to Kampala and say, "Oh, that opposition chairman is sabotaging, is blocking government programs." It is not blocking. I have a cardinal responsibility to check the actions and actions of the chief administrative officer. Duly enshrined in the Local Government Act. One of my responsibilities is to oversee performance of all technical staff paid by government in this place. By the way, including even NRDC. If you didn't know, NRDC is a civil service according to the constitution, but in practice, I don't know whether you still consider them to be civil servants or they are now something else. So I have a responsibility to oversee, see what these people are doing. Are they doing things that translate into smiles on the faces of our people?
Former Ive Sub-County LC3 chairman, Honorable Afadriayo James, and a member of the party structure who represented the NRM vice chairman during the celebration, says the NRM party structure in the district has been acting as whistleblowers to make sure the resources government sends to the district are put into rightful use.
For us as NRM leaders in this district, I think we have been acting as whistleblowers. The engagement of the IGG in this district has solely been our efforts, because we have been following whatever little coin that is being sent to the district for development purpose and for other services. We have been following carefully, and we have also been put into task some of the heads of departments to account, and where they fail, we engage the IGG. That has been our role here, because we are doing oversight work.
Teregu District Women MP, Honorable Obiga Rose, who pursued her education career on State House scholarship, expressed her happiness over the tremendous achievements the NRM party has done in the country.
People have seen the goodness of NRM in Teregu. And when we were in Parliament the other day, celebrating the life of Chichilio Gwal, the president did mention that there are some good opposition members, and I'm very happy that my district chairman, much as he's in opposition, has continued to attend the NRM Liberation Day. He has understood the theme that it's for all of us. It's our country that we have to cherish and we have to develop. We have to love our country. We have to grow together. And he thanked the president. It's so interesting. We, the NRMs in the district, we have promised to work very hard. That's why in my remarks, I asked how the remaining buildings must be finished before June. I want to thank God. I want to thank the government and His Excellency, the President.
Oraku Benson Pastore, Osuta Yusuf, West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories this evening. With barely 1 week to the reopening of schools for the first term of the new academic year 2024, primary schools in Otusi Sub-County Moyo District are still grappling with the challenge of low turn-up of learners for the registration, something which worries the school administrators in the sub-county. Okumu Dominic reports.
According to the information got from some of the schools in the sub-county, registration of learners for the new academic year began on the 15th of January this year, but up to date, most of the schools are still being faced with the low turn-up of the learners for registration. Mr. Adrachama Mawi Simako, the chairman, Primary Schools Head Teachers Association, Oche Sub-County, who also doubles as the head teacher of Lechu Primary School, said registration of pupils started way back, but most of the schools still continue to register low turn-up. He, however, adds that as Oche Sub-County, they have resolved that no more registration of pupils will stop on the 2nd of February, and those learners who will come after normal registration date will be charged 5,000 shillings, and lessons will start on the 5th of February. He therefore urged the parents to take their children to be registered early so that lessons will also start early.
We started the registration last week, but we registered a very low turnout. And this week, again, the same thing repeated. Parents were not bringing children for registration. But however, we have resolved in our PTA meeting and also in the TPC meeting at the sub-county level that normal registration will stop on the 2nd of February. For us, we shall, on the 5th of February, we shall be in the class with the few learners. Those who will come after 2nd of February, the sub-county authority have already decided that they will pay a fine of 5,000. So as the teachers, the few who are registered, we want to start lesson as the term opens. So I want to caution our parents that the remaining 1 week is enough for us to register all the learners. So my appeal is let them bring the learners so that effective lessoning starts on the 5th of February.
Mrs. Maneno Isabella, the deputy head teacher, Eremi Primary School, said registration in the school began on the 15th of January, but in the past 2 weeks, they recorded low turn-up of learners and hope the parents speed up the process of registering their children for first term so that lessons can start early.
Our registration started since 15th of January 2024. At the first week, we registered very few learners. Parents were unable to turn up, but as they continued to learn, in the second week, as I talk now, I've registered over 200 pupils now. But I'm still appealing to the parents, if they can manage to bring their children for registration early next week before the schools begin, it will be better. So that as we begin our lessons on the 5th of Feb, we shall progress well as compared to other schools. That is the motto of Eremi Primary School. Otherwise, if you go to other districts like Juman, many schools have already started lessons, especially private school. But for us here in Moyo in government, we are still behind. So I'm appealing please to you parents that you should have to hurry up in the coming week. Hurry up and finish our registration in time.
Honorable Dulu Samuel, the chairman, Local Council 3 Oche Sub-County, said his office is aware of the low turn-up of pupils for registration and urged the parents to bring their children for registration so that the pupils can be able to compete favorably with other learners from different regions in terms of academics.
To appreciate all the head teachers and school management committees of all the schools, primary schools in Oche Sub-County for taking on with the registration of pupils. But however, I've realized that it has come to my notice that there has been so poor turn-up for registration. So I'm appealing to all the parents to change their attitudes positively so as to register children early, and they should be able to resume to effective teaching and learning once schools open officially. By doing this, they'll be able to compete favorable with all the other schools within the region and even outside the region. It has come to my notice much as some schools already registering, but there are other schools where registration is so low. So I'm appealing to the particular schools to the parents to kindly take their children also for registration so that it is done timely.
The Ministry of Education and Sports has announced that Term 1 of the new academic year 2024 will start on 5th February 2024, and the new calendar has been dispatched to all the learning institutions so as to start preparations to welcome the learners after a long holiday. However, most schools in the district, especially rural schools, are facing low turn-up of learners for registration, something which requires concerted efforts from all the education stakeholders in the district. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumu for West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories this evening. Christians in Nebi Anglican Diocese joined the thousands of Christians across the diocese to attend the 4th Diocesan Convention 2024 at Ukuru Archdeaconry in Nebi Anglican Diocese. Take a look.
The convention prayer was organized by the women organization in Nebi Anglican Diocese and will be presided over by Right Reverend Ponso Zelawinjo, the Bishop of Nebi Anglican Diocese. Speaking to Venerable Alfred Ugenmongo, the Archdeacon Okoro Archdeaconry, reminded Christians to follow good deeds in speaking and preaching the gospel without fear. He thanked the diocese for remembering St. Henry Church of Uganda Ukemo for hosting the convention for this year 2024.
The place, it has a history. There are people who will get saved here, but they will go back and always have that in their mind. I got saved in the diocesan convention that took place in Ukoro, in the St. Andrew Church of Uganda. And that is already a story of somebody's life. The other thing, people who come around, they have seen this place. They will know better of our story and also our situation. There are people who have never reached this place. Since yesterday, people who have been coming, I have encountered so many who have never reached this part of the diocese. The convention have brought them. And here, they will go back there when they are praying for me, when they are praying for God. Now they know what is really God is and what is in God. And that is the purpose of which we call the convention. And you know, in a convention like this, like the theme says, to whom shall we go? Many have left the church. They tried to get the solution to their problems outside the church. Others are getting in the court. Others are getting solution to their problem with the witch doctors. Others are going out to get the solution for their problem with the other politicians or whatever. But the best thing to solve our problem is to be in the church. And that is the purpose we want our people here. Not to leave the church. Changing even religion may not help much. But if we have the one who is the honor or who has the source of life in us for eternity, or who have the word of life of eternity, then we have everything.
Edina Ozele, the vision bearer for the convention, called upon Christians who are in attendance to understand that Christ is the source of every truth required of a person, as she also reminded women in churches to stick to the rules of Christ in their marriages. She further advised the Christians to embrace the love of the Holy Spirit and the power of forgiveness to overshadow all persecutions. Conclusively, she called upon leaders who use their positions to offend others to take control of the Holy Spirit.
During our conventions, we have evangelism during daytime, then we have talks during the evening, so that we balance up. So we have a variety of topics. Last year we had topics, 2023, our topics for nights range from health issues, because women have a lot of health issues. Of course, when it comes to the health issues, we don't only talk to women, men also have those challenges. So we bring people from the health department. They come, they talk to us on health issues that they feel are affecting us in our part of the region. I think last year was very good. We had people from the district health office of Nebi. This year also we have we shall have a health talk, and we have invited the officials from the district health office from Zombo district, because we are in Zombo district. Apart from health, we also talk about other issues, sanitation issues, how to raise money to sustain our homes. Because we want people, yeah, you are born again, but how do you walk? How is your home when you go out as a born again? Is there food on the table for the children? As you go to preach, does your life really reflect anything to that effect?
The 3 days diocesan convention, which started on Thursday 25th of this month, will end on Sunday this week, where the Bishop of Nebi Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Pons Ozela Winjum, will close it with the Word of God. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories this evening. The youths in Moyo District have been urged to identify, raise, monitor and evaluate advocacy issues affecting them within the district so as to promote youth involvement in development and decision making. Okumu Dominic has more.
The training attracted youth leaders from all the 7 sub-counties and 3 town councils, both male and female, so as to build their capacity on advocacy and put their energies into proper use. Mr. Dulega Richard, the monitoring and evaluation officer at Global M, who doubled as the facilitator during the capacity building training, urged the youth to make good use of what they have learned from the training and be able to identify, raise and monitor advocacy issues which affect them in the district, saying there are a lot of issues affecting the youth in the district, which range from the parish development model to other government programs which the youth need to advocate for.
At the end of this training, we expect that the youth leaders will be able to raise advocacy issues, identify advocacy issues, and plan for it and implement and also monitor it well, because those are the key essentials in advocacy and monitoring. And there are quite a number of issues that needs advocacy from Moyo District that will have been raised by the youth. So by the end of this training, we expect the youth leaders to be able to identify such. For instance, in the PDM, you know, the government allocates only 30% of these funds to be given for the youth, and given the population of the youth, which is the majority in the district and also in the country, holding about approximately 70%, that means the 30% allocation for the youth alone is not enough or sufficient. They will need to identify an issue along that line so that the policy can adjust and cater for more than at least 30% of that.
Honorable Maridio Univa, the female district youth councillor, lauded Global M for building the capacity of the youth leaders and adds that the knowledge she has acquired will allow her to go back to her community and sensitize them to demand for their rights.
I'm so impressed, and I want to thank the Global M for giving us such kind of training, and they are always with us, and we want to thank the organizers all the time, the one for Global M, because they are building our capacities. You know, in this government we don't know much about it, and even the trainings which they are giving us, it opens our eyes, and then it opens our it even build our capacity, because we can even go and we know our rights right now. We can easily go to any office and now demand our rights, because we know right now what is right, what is wrong, because they have training us very well about the leadership skills, and even in our community right now, even I can go at my parish, I can talk about PDM, this parish development model, so that it can help my youth. We have 30% our share So this can even help us, and even we can do small business.
Honorable Agachare Emmanuel, the Youth Councillor Laropi Town Council, who doubles as the Speaker, Laropi Town Council, said the training enlightened him about different approaches and guidelines on how to approach different offices and advocate for issues affecting the community, and request Global M not to leave the youth, saying the government has already pushed the youth aside and that shouldn't be the case with Global M as well.
How do we influence our leader to advocate for a certain common goal of our own interest, of our own importance? The capacity or the training really gave me a lot of directives and guidelines, of which actually, as of now, I know the best approaches I can make for offices to inquire and advocate for the common importance of our youth.
Honorable Nzimai Rogers, the Youth Councillor Laropi Sub-County, said the training has helped them to be able to identify and make follow-ups on different government programs, and this will help them to identify and raise local revenue for the district and the country at large.
If you know the policy, you will be able to know where to reach, to which office to reach to. And also in revenue, if you know the policy, the government in the government system, you will know how to follow on the revenue and the collection criteria they are using. Is there corruption and other thing? Youths, many times youths get involved in a demonstration. But if you know the policy, you will be able to demonstrate a legal demonstration, not in illegal demonstration. Now, today's training, it has really helped us. We are going to know how to advocate for the development.
Global M, a non-governmental organization operating mainly in Moyo and Obongi district, is currently running a project called Strengthening Youth Participation in Development and Decision-Making Processes in Moyo and Obongi districts, which is aimed at building the capacities of the youth so as to execute their obligations and mandate. The project runs for 10 months. It started in August last year and is expected to end this year in May. I'm Dominic Antonio Kumo for West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
If you know the policy, the government in the government system, you will know how to follow on the revenue and the collection criteria they are using. Is there corruption and other thing? Youths, many times youths get involved in a demonstration. But if you know the policy, you will be able to demonstrate a legal demonstration, not in illegal demonstration. Now, today's training, it has really helped us. We are going to know how to advocate for the development.
Global M, a non-governmental organization operating mainly in Moyo and Obongi district, is currently running a project called Strengthening Youth Participation in Development and Decision-Making Processes in Moyo and Obongi districts, which is aimed at building the capacities of the youth so as to execute their obligations and mandate. The project runs for 10 months. It started in August last year and is expected to end this year in May. I'm Dominic Antonio Kumo for West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories this evening. The late Honorable Cecilia Ogwar has been laid to rest in her matrimonial home in Alito Town Council in Kole District. May her soul rest in eternal peace.
Now getting into the world of sports, and we are now into the segment of sports. In front of the camera is Oraku Benson Pastore. This weekend is full of a lot of stories, and yesterday was NRM celebration. I hope you enjoyed it, and so many sports encounters happened yesterday night, and one of it was Arua City Boxing Club hosting Police Boxing Club in a boxing club, and the purpose of the friendly was to see that they prepared the boxers ahead of the competitive tournaments coming ahead of the both clubs. Let's have the reported story. Arua City Boxing Club continues to prepare the boxers ahead of the upcoming competitive tournaments. This comes after hosting Uganda Police Boxing Club in a friendly game on NRM Day celebration on 26th of January 2024 at the Golf Coast Restaurant. Arua City Boxing Club is a recognized boxing club registered with Uganda Boxing Federation and is ever participating in national competitive tournaments and has ever produced great boxers. It's not the first time Arua City Boxing Club is getting engaged in friendly games, as they also hosted East Coast on 9th of October 2023 at Heritage Courts.
Arua City Boxing Club is located at Niva, near the gate or the primary. We train our boxers at the youth center. We have many categories of boxers. We have even the academy now, and the various categories. We have them, including heavyweight, we have bantam, and all those other categories. We are hosting the Uganda Police Boxing Club in a friendly. Why we are hosting them is we want to prepare our boxers for the games that are yet to come ahead. There are some who are in the Champions League, then there are those who want to build the confidence in, so that's why we are hosting Uganda Police. We are having a friendly match with Police Boxing Club, so we are going to compete here. Yeah, so far I have middle in boxing, so we are having this friendly to be prepared of National Open, so we are going to play National Open on March.
We have come here to fight with our team to improve on the talent of the youth and to make it that boxing is a game, not a war. So we are here in Arua tournament, just a friendly Uganda Police and Arua Boxing Club. So that also police can also play such a game. People are okay, I see, they like the game of boxing.
Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television, NILE CAST Sports News. Away from that, in more of the stories, in a bid to promote the game of rugby in West Nile region, Score Beyond, a non-governmental organization in the region, has organized a training at Ajuman Model School in Ajuman district with the purpose of sensitizing the youth about the game. Let's have the reported story.
Score Beyond, an organization that is implementing sports, has mobilized students to benefit from the project as they plan to discover the hidden talents of rugby in Western region, particularly Ajumani district. Irama George Oshol, the team leader of Score Beyond Club, said they are bringing back the sports so as to fight against social issues affecting youth in Ajumani district. He further disclosed that it will act as a source of income for those who will do well in the game as professionals.
We are doing rugby as a sports, and we are using sports to solve social issues among communities. So when we are doing these sports, we have seen that rugby sports is not here in Ajuman. Actually, it is rare in West Nile and Mandisa region. So we are trying to bring rugby as a team in Ajuman district, and we see the rugby is very good sport, which can bring even employment opportunities to our young kids. Once if you start playing rugby, be on a high level of playing.
Mansoru Said Suru, a coach, called upon the youths to enroll in the game for it to prosper and ask for support from stakeholders, including the parents.
But
we feel all the stakeholders have to join us in. We always do this every time, 3 times in a week, but from 8 a.m. to 11:30 every day. Because we feel all the stakeholders have to come in so that we back up, we establish this rugby team. Next, I think Ajumani is going to be the host for the national circuits, 7 circuits. Ajumani has to be presenting one team in the league as well. Then what the challenge mainly here I've seen is only low turnout. Maybe the turnout is good and the same time management, that's as well. And more so parents, they are yet trying to adapt to the game, how it is. They need to desensitize it. Because some parents, they pull out their children, they are saying this game, they are not understanding the concepts of rugby.
Asili Jonas, undergoing training with Score Beyond Club, urged people to change their negative thoughts about the game for it to prosper.
So my information, those who don't think that rugby is a bad game, think they have a negative attitude, because what brings about that, it's when you're bad-hearted. If you're bad-hearted, you can get injured, but rugby, it's all about passing the game. It's a gentleman's game. It doesn't need having bad heart towards your team member. You have to pass the ball and roll it, just as you saw the game. It's enjoyable. I at one point also had such a negative attitude, but when I come in the game, I realized that it's no more. The game is nice. I enjoy the game. It's really, really awesome. I just encourage those youths outside there. They can come and join us. The game is nice.
Medina Yunesi, a female rugby player, requested her fellow ladies to join the sport, saying rugby is not only for men, as many people think.
Being a mom or a lady, we are all the same. So being among the men, it doesn't really change anything. They are friendly. Scorpion has impacted something into their mind that everyone is equal. Nothing like you're a lady. Nothing like feeling you're superior or inferior. So each one is equal. So it's very easy for us. So there is just a simple way.
Peace Ushaki, Onjima Alan, West Nile TV, NILE CAST Sports.
In more of our stories, Aringa East Village has been crowned as the champions of Enter Village tournament, which took place in Yumbe district after edging out Pa Echola Logo village by a goal to nil. This tournament has been taking place in Yumbe district, particularly at Eremi Primary School playground. Let's have the reported story.
Aringa East Village beat Pechua Logo 1-0 in the inter-village football tournament to become the champions of the eastern part of the villages in Oche sub-county in a gala played at Eremi Primary School playgrounds. The inter-village tournament, organized in form of a gala, was launched on Monday, 22nd January 2024, and it's expected to cover 4 sub-counties, namely Laropi Town Council, Laropi Sub-County, Dufele and Oche Sub-County, with the aim of fostering unity, identification of talent and sensitization of the youth on different government programs so as to allow the youth benefit from such programs. Aringa East Village scored the only goal of the match in the first half and went ahead to defend it through the second half to clinch the title. The District Football Association organized tournament, which is being backed by Honorable Aleruto Maza, the Member of Parliament for West Moyo County, has taken a short break but will resume on Monday 29th January, covering the western part of Oche sub-county, and will proceed to Dufele sub-county on Tuesday and Wednesday next week. I'm Dominic Antonio Kumo for West Nile TV, NILE CAST Sports.
Okay, to finalize the NILE CAST Sports news today, tomorrow is a very big day. We all know in West Nile region, West Nile province will be hosting Lango province in the reverse fixture of the semi-finals of FUFA Drum. The first leg of this encounter ended by 2-0. We saw our boys going to northern region to play Lango at Akibwa. Tomorrow will be the reverse fixture, particularly at Yarue City and at Ababet Greenlight Stadium. The kickoff time will be at 4 p.m. East African time. With that, we have come to the end of today's edition of NILE CAST. It has been me, Benson Pastore, in front of the camera. Have the best of your weekend. Enjoy the game of tomorrow. I am out of the studio. We'll link up again on Monday for the same program of NILE CAST Sports News.
you, Irako Benson Pastore, for that sports news and that sports highlight. And that, viewer, marks the end of the Nile Cast on West Nile Television. Thank you always, viewers, for taking the time to come and be with us from the beginning of the Nile Cast to the end of the Nile Cast on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name remains Okumuringa Christie. Have a good evening.